You're walking where?
Yes, I'm walking.
You're walking, fantastic. Early morning exercise, that's good.
How are you? How do you feel?
Good, good, I feel good. I'm just looking for something I think I left in the car, but we'll be able to have our class.
Take your time, Farhan. We
No,
only
I'm
do
good.
now take.
Yeah, no, I'm good, I'm good. I need a haircut. See how my hair is all crazy
You
already?
are tired?
Yeah, car has been parked. Everything's good. I just need to get a haircut. I think my hair is crazy.
You look well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Don't worry.
I need to fix my hair eventually. But besides that, so great, Gregory. We will wait for somebody else to join before I get started quickly here in the next few minutes. Let's see. How's the weather? How's the walk?
It's chilly,
It's chilly.
but it's nice. I put uh, two coats. Sorry, I forgot the word.
No, no, no. You can say I wore two coats. I wore two coats.
Yes.
Yeah. Fantastic.
That's good.
Great, great, fantastic. It's a little bit chilly, but yeah, here in the morning today it was actually very chilly. I think maybe 5 degrees Celsius. Oh, nice. You're
It's
showing
my
me
town.
this. Yeah, it's good. I can see Israel here. It's very interesting.
Who's your friend?
My friend
Who's
is
your good friend?
he's Haroon. That's Haroon.
Nice to meet
you. He's saying nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too, Gregory.
So we are just all these young guys. We are just sitting and we work on our computers. We work on different projects. Cell phone. Yeah. So we're just all hanging out together in California. So it's an interesting experience for all of us. Yeah.
Okay, show me. Are you? Can you see me?
A little bit.
No.
I see a little bit. It's dark though. It's kind of dark.
Okay, it's light.
Yeah.
Now?
Oh yes, I see you. Hey, Gregory. Good to see you.
Okay.
Nice, nice.
I don't show my face because I'm old. I don't like show my face.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Age is no problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Fantastic. So let's see.
You have friends. Okay. Sorry.
No problems. I was just waiting. I'm gonna wait just a few more minutes, Gregory. Maybe 2 more minutes. And before I get started, actually, I wanted to just introduce the topic. Oh, we have Heidi. Fantastic. Hey, Heidi. How's it going?
Hello.
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 Nice to see you again. Fantastic, fantastic. We have Allah is also here. Hey, Allah, how's it going?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good يا باشا. ازيك انت يا
Good
باشا؟
morning.
كله تمام، كله كويس.
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to
very
see
well.
you. Good to see you. Fantastic. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the class. As I was describing a little while ago, right? Well, actually, I was just about to start, so thank you for joining. We were going to talk about today, guys, talk about the past perfect tense. And the past perfect tense we actually use in English when we are describing 2 events in the past, right? When we are describing one event in the past and comparing it to another event in the past, right? We use it for many types of situations. The thing to keep in mind is that we are looking at the past in all of these cases, right? So, and then in the second part of the class, guys, we will talk about an interesting situation that is happening now in Iran. As you guys may know, it's a country that has a lot of political issues with the rest of the world. Not a very westernized country, really. But there are many things in Iran that the people, the young people especially in that country, are very creative. And there are businesses that try to bring creative business ideas to that country, even though the government and the politics of that country are very anti-Western, a very rigid society, right? So we will take a look at actually the establishment of fast food chains in Iran that are copies of American and European fast food. And it's a very interesting situation, actually, because there are many of these chains in Iran, and the food is great, but the names are different from the American or the European companies that are similar to them, right? So the food is similar. Maybe you can go to a restaurant in Iran that serves sandwiches like McDonald's, right? But the idea is that they're copying the McDonald's idea and making it something that is that is like their culture. So they're copying other things. Because they have diplomatic problems with the United States, they actually cannot open a McDonald's in Iran. It's not possible. So they're copying, right? No American business, unless they have a special license, can work with Iran. So different kinds of things like that. We will see how people are creative, even when their governments are very are always kind of closing them off. So, guys, any questions before we get started? Past perfect or these other things that I just mentioned right now with Iranian fast food? Any questions?
No question.
Fantastic. Great, guys. So when we get started, guys, when we talk about the past perfect tense, right, remember we are comparing two things in the past. Because this is an advanced class, guys, okay, we are not going to focus on the grammar. We're going to go right to the article very, very soon after we discuss the grammar. So I wanted to start the conversation by asking you guys, if you could give me an example of, I'll just ask you guys, have you eaten fast food recently? Have you eaten fast food recently? Let's start with Allah. Allah, have you eaten fast food recently?
Yeah, I eat fast food every weekend.
Every weekend, you have it every weekend.
Yeah.
Do you go out with your friends or family, or just alone?
No, I go with my wife.
Fantastic. Nice way to spend time with your wife. You take her to a fast food restaurant. You guys do this every weekend, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun. Do you have a special place that you guys always go to?
Yeah, I go for KFC, or sometimes McDonald's.
McDonald's and KFC, okay, two very popular chains,
Yeah.
right? Awesome.
Because that restaurant have a place for children play.
Yeah, they have the play place, right? The place where kids can run around and play and not cause problems, right? Fantastic. Good, good.
Yeah.
Gregory, what about you? Have you recently had fast food?
No, recently not. I understand it's not good for me, for my health, and I avoid. But sometimes, because our daughter, we're going to McDonald's, and you're right, there are a place for playing for a child, jamboree. It's called jamboree.
Yeah, jamboree. Yeah, we have that word in English. I think maybe in Israel they call it a jamboree. But we have a place for kids to play.
And if I in McDonald's only take ice cream, the ice cream good and cheaper, so I eat ice cream.
It is.
Only.
It is. They have really good ice cream. They have McFlurry, I think is one of them's called. They have cone ice cream. Yeah, a lot of different types. Yeah, fantastic. And Heidi, I think I know the answer to your question, but I'll ask you anyway. Have you recently had fast food, Heidi?
Most recently, two
Not
months
recently.
ago.
2 months ago. How's your arm doing? Is your cast off?
Yes.
Yes!
Thank you very much.
Celebration time, right? We should
But
have a party.
I have a bandage, not cast, only bandage,
You still have a bandage, okay?
like boxer.
But it feels better, right?
Yeah, much better.
Okay, awesome, fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that's awesome. So we have these situations, guys. When we talk about the past tense, you guys all did a great job, right? I have not recently had fast food. I have fast food every weekend with my wife, or it's bad for my health, so I don't usually have fast food, but my daughter goes to the jamboree, right? Conversation, guys, in English is really, I want to take us, in these advanced classes, I want to focus on speaking the way we want to speak, right? Sometimes we get really focused on present perfect, past perfect, the grammar. I want you guys to be very comfortable with speaking, right? So I'm glad you guys are answering these questions. To look at the past perfect, guys, very simply, what is the past perfect? The past perfect is when we are comparing one event in the past with another event in the past, right? Maybe one event in the past happened before another event in the past, or happened after another event in the past, right? That's the only thing. So I can say, for example, I had already made dinner when my friends invited me to the restaurant, right? I had already had dinner or prepared dinner when my friends invited me to the restaurant, right? So the basic construction, guys, is very simple, right? We have a subject, we have the word had, and then we have a verb in the past participle. I had already eaten. I had already spent my money. When my sister asked me for $5, I had already spent my money, right? So we use already a lot in these kinds of sentences because we are comparing something that happened before to something that happened later, right? Or we can say the bus had already left. The bus had left when we arrived at the bus station. We don't have to say had already left, right? Already had left. We can say the bus had left when we arrived at the bus station, right? It had gone. It had left, right? Something happened before something else. The bus left before we even came there, right? So always the focus is on the past tense, right? The first part of the sentence is in the past perfect, or one of the two parts of the sentence is in the past perfect. He had eaten, she had paid, we had whatever, the bus had left, right? The second part is in the simple past tense, right? I had already studied for my exam when my teacher asked me to talk about the subject, right? I had already studied for it. It was easy for me. So when the teacher asked me, it was easy for me, right? Any of those kinds of situations, guys. Any questions on the initial idea of the past perfect tense? What is the past perfect tense? Any questions on that?
No question.
No questions, Heidi, thank you. Gregory and Allah, they make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
Awesome, guys. So remember, guys, once again, if you guys do have questions on this, right, ask them, but also think about the level of the class because it's an advanced class. We are not going to be spending so much time on the grammar, right? We want to spend more time on the exercise. So I think, guys, we are at a point where we can start talking about the article, right? So what I had mentioned before, right, past perfect, is that we are going to look at Iranian society, right? It's a country that a lot of people know very little about, right? People there, however, are trying to be as creative as they can with their tough, difficult situation, right? With their tough political situation. So let's look to see what they are doing to have American fast food. Since the United States cannot operate in Iran, the Iranians are copying American fast food, right? It's an interesting topic. So there's the link, guys, and we will also take a look at the article in the screen share mode, guys. So let's see what they say. McDonald's, right? Not McDonald's, McDonald's, right? Iranians copy American fast food brands, right? Very interesting situation. So you see this sign, right? This is what fast food place? Have you guys noticed a fast food place that has a similar color and a similar sign in maybe Israel or Japan or Kuwait? Have you guys seen something like this? What is this sign similar to? Maybe you guys know.
We have a big red symbol, M, of McDonald's.
Yeah, so the big M symbol of McDonald's, right? That's a very popular symbol. What about this symbol, guys? This is a confused version of a very famous American company symbol. Do you guys know what it is? What symbol this one is? This is confused. This is very ugly because this is the Iranian version, right? They just made it whatever they wanted. But have you guys ever seen the restaurant Subway? Subway in the United States? They have this logo, right? They have this logo. Oops, sorry, it's not doing a very good job here. See how this Subway logo? Look at this thing, right? These are the letters that these Iranians are trying to copy, right? See how the letters are the yellow and the white and green, right? So they took the Subway sign and they made it into this thing, right? They have the S, they have the U, they have a B, they have a W and a Y and an A, right? But they confused it, right? They made it their own edition. I don't know what this says, okay? I have no idea what this says, but this is a restaurant that they made in their country that serves the same kind of food, so, you know, sandwiches, just like Subway serves sandwiches in the United States, right? So they're very creative with these ideas. We'll look to see what happens. So Iran may not love America politically, but Iranians love American food, especially fast food. With no formal diplomatic relations between the two countries, though, it's rather hard to find a McDonald's or a Pizza Hut. But if you wander through the streets of Tehran, that's the capital, right, you might find a Pizza Hat or a McDonald's, right? So they take the idea and they make it into something different. They copy it, right? A Pizza Hat, not Pizza Hut, right? Or a McDonald's, not McDonald's, right? Any questions, guys, on these first two paragraphs? Any words that don't make sense? Are we okay?
No question.
No questions? Okay.
It's clear.
Okay, fantastic. The rise of the fake franchise, right? Fake franchise. What is a franchise, guys?
Franchise to ask for the recipe instead the branch of restaurant need to pay the money, several percent of sale.
Absolutely fantastic, Heidi. You have it exactly right. So a franchise is a restaurant business strategy that allows you to, let's say, you know, McDonald's wants to open a McDonald's in Osaka, right? And Heidi says, I will start this franchise, right? So Heidi will get all the information from McDonald's for how to design her restaurant, how to prepare the food, how to prepare her employees, to make the McDonald's experience absolutely perfect. Heidi will get all of that help from McDonald's. But in return, Heidi has to pay McDonald's maybe 5% of all the money that she makes every month or every year, right? So this franchise allows individual people to own a business that is based on a bigger model, that is based on an established model. All of these restaurants, Subway, KFC, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, right? They're all franchises. Business people in many countries buy buildings and they go to McDonald's and they say, I want to start a McDonald's. And they get money and they give the 5% or the 10% back every year to McDonald's, right? That's why McDonald's makes so much money, right? Billions of dollars in franchises, right? So this rise of the fake franchise, this idea in Iran, caught the attention of Iranian-American Holly Dagris, who is a Middle East analyst and commentator, who travels to Tehran often from her home in Cairo. This lady is an Iranian-American, right? She goes all the time to Iran. She published a photo essay on BuzzFeed in October highlighting some of these eateries, right? An eatery, guys, is a restaurant, right? A place you eat is known as an eatery, right? So she went there and she was talking about all these fake franchises all over Iran. Dagris tells NPR's Scott Simon she has counted 9 so far that look familiar, right? Baskin-Robbins, it's a very popular ice cream store. Chipotle is a very popular Mexican food, fast food. Domino's Pizza, KFC, McDonald's, right? Pizza Hut, right? Rice Coffee, Subway, and Superstar, right? These are the 9 fake franchises that she has found in Iran. Rice Coffee, the word rice means president, actually, in Arabic and also in Farsi, right? So Rice Coffee is actually a replica of Starbucks. It's a copy of Starbucks, right? When we see the word replica, replica means like a copy, right? And Superstar, the word the restaurant Superstar, is inspired by a restaurant named Carl's Jr. in the United States, right? There's actually a Carl's Jr. very close to where I am right now in California. So it's a very popular sandwich store, right? Any questions, guys, on these 2 paragraphs?
No questions.
No questions? Awesome. Allah, any questions? You've been quiet. I wanted to make sure everything was okay.
No, not any question. I listen and I understand that.
Fantastic.
Not all words, but I know.
Okay. If you have any questions, Allah, about any specific words, please let me know. I can help you with the meaning also if you want.
No, you
sure.
Explain any word. I want to ask, but before you explain.
Fantastic. Okay. But these stores, guys, right? These stores, these rice, coffee, all these stores, they have nothing to do with the American franchise, right? Because America cannot operate in Iran because of sanctions, right? I think Starbucks actually tried to sue Rice Coffee, right? But there was no success. And the same with KFC, said Dagris. And they've done such a perfect job in some circumstances of emulating things, right? When you emulate something, guys, the verb emulate means to copy, right? So these Iranian fast food franchises have perfectly replicated, perfectly emulated, perfectly copied these American franchises, right? The KFC, the chicken tastes just like the KFC in America, right? The Starbucks coffee tastes just like the Rice coffee, right? The Pizza Hut tastes like the Pizza Hut, right? Baskin Robbins and KFC, she says, look like the real deal, right? They look like the real thing that you get in the United States. It's kind of confusing, right? Because she travels. This lady is an American. She goes to Iran all the time, right? At Baskin Robbins, for example, Dagra says you have the 31 flavors with the same cups and spoons. But it's the quality of ice cream. But the quality of ice cream might be better because, in fact, it's Italian gelato. So even though in the United States you have this really unhealthy, thick ice cream at Baskin Robbins, 31 flavors, in Iran, they call it Baskin Robbins, but it's even more high quality. It's Italian gelato instead of the fake American ice cream, you know, the really high-fat ice cream. So if diplomatic relations were ever restored, would those pho franchises be in a difficult position, right? So pho, guys, means fake. It's a French word for fake, right? So she's asking if the United States begins to have good relationships with Iran again, then will these franchises be in a difficult position? Dagra says that there would be lawsuits, right? Maybe the Starbucks in the United States at that point would take the Rice coffee to court, right? Or the Pizza Hut would get sued by Pizza Hut, right? We don't know. They might have to shut down, right? But I think it would be sad for the owners of those companies, right? These are just individuals that came up with a bright idea and thought it would be great to emulate the American franchises, right? So they would think it's a great idea. This lady thinks it's a great idea that these creative people have all of these ideas. Even though they're copying, they did such an amazing job copying Starbucks and Subway and McDonald's and all that kind of stuff. Any questions, guys, on these couple of paragraphs that we looked at?
There would be a lawsuit from American companies.
Yes, exactly, Heidi. So the American companies would file lawsuits against these Iranian companies.
But maybe a court would be Iran, right? In Iran.
Court would maybe international court, maybe. So for example, sometimes when Samsung sued Apple, there was one court in the United States, there was one court in Korea, there was also, I think, another one in Europe or something like that, right? Corporate law, I'm not really sure. I am 100% sure that the court would not be in Iran because Iranian law is religious law, and that doesn't apply. So it would probably be American or maybe European, something like that.
For example, Apple almost won in any country, but in South Korea, Samsung won.
Yeah, because they had their own. I mean, Samsung is a Korean company, right?
Yeah. So if American company indict these companies in Iran, maybe they will win.
They would be, yeah, that's the idea. So this is what this, the author is saying, that they might have to shut down, right? Because these Pizza Hut cannot fight Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut has billions of dollars, millions of, franchises maybe, or not millions, but thousands of locations around the world, right? Pizza Hut is just in Iran, and it's not something that is very powerful, right? But she admires the fact that these people can copy so well, this idea, these different ideas. When I was in Iran, actually, I saw something called KFC, but it's a different name. It was called a different K, not Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? And the food was delicious. I mean, the chicken tasted just like the KFC here. And
really?
Yeah, all the people who were there were saying, I was talking to my friends and they were saying, is the American KFC better? I said, really, I can't tell the difference. I don't know. It tasted very similar. And these restaurants are extremely popular. I mean, I saw with my own eyes that the young people, they are going crazy buying the fast food from these places. I didn't see a Pizza Hut or anything like that, but I saw KFC that was a fake KFC, right? But the food was good, so it was interesting. We had to ask Dagres, this lady, where she would take us for lunch if we were in Tehran today. She said, since you're American, I wouldn't take you to a bootleg franchise. The word bootleg, guys, a very American word, right? Bootleg means fake, right? If anything is bootleg, like you say, Heidi, could you find me a bootleg copy of a movie online, right? A fake copy of a movie, a fake software, a fake game, right? Anything that is fake in American English, we say bootleg, right? So this author is saying, because the NPR is an American magazine, she wouldn't take the Americans to a bootleg franchise, but she would take you for some really good kebab. Kebab in Farsi, or kebab, is very typical Middle Eastern food. It's meat, right? A meat dish. So she would take us to a restaurant that serves kebab. But if you were really craving something American, right? If you really wanted something American, then she would take you to the fake franchise called Superstar. And the only reason I say that is because it was my high school hangout, and they have a really good chicken burger. So this author is having some fun with the reporters at NPR. They have fast food, guys. I mean, I saw it with my own eyes. They love the food, and they are very. They don't have any problems with American culture. The people have no problems with American culture. The government is the problem. The government is really, does not reflect the people. So very interesting situation, guys. So let's go back up here. And I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think about this article, about these fake franchises? Is it something that surprises you? Or is it something that is normal maybe in your mind because of how popular fast food is in the world? Allah, what do you think?
Yes, I think any popular idea you found in any place and copy. Yani, any place can copy this idea. But in Iran, the government say, I don't like America, I don't. But I think it's wrong. I think relationship with America is good and better, not bad. I think that. And so, and also in Syria, not any city can found American restaurant, because they have same idea, same Iran. same idea, but not not restaurant American name, not another name. But same food have same chicken, same copy, but different name. Maybe you found only in the country, in the Damascus only, in Syria. That's my opinion.
So you saw the same thing in Syria. They take the idea and they copy it.
Yeah, that's.
I've seen it in one other country. So I was traveling and I went to. I went to Bangladesh. That's where my parents are from. And Bangladesh doesn't. When I went, they had KFC. They had the official KFC, not a fake. They had not a bootleg. They had official KFC. But there was some other restaurant. I think maybe it was McDonald's, and they called it McDonald's. So they called it with a G. Instead of a C, it was MG, McDonald's, right? So they were actually very creative in making this fake because, when you say it quickly in English, McDonald's and McDonald's, it's difficult to tell the difference, right? Even the symbol of the restaurant was that M that we see in McDonald's, right? So when they copied, they did such a good job copying, it was impossible to tell. I mean, unless you're American, you can go and see this is not McDonald's, right? But otherwise, it was very, very good copy. Gregory, I'm sorry, Allah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think in Syria, I eat here already, Kentucky and McDonald's. In Syria, different but delicious. It's very delicious. It's not same here. Here, I think it's not delicious.
Really? So you like the Syrian more?
Of course, that's delicious. And
wow.
And in same restaurant, you have another food. It's delicious. Not only Americana food, but already have.
Very interesting. Yeah, I'm very surprised by. I thought the food was delicious too when I was in Iran, but I couldn't remember how the American KFC tasted, but it didn't taste bad. It tasted very good actually, and that's why it's popular, right? These guys are making a lot of money in their countries because people know they're fake, whatever, but people still go, So it brings a lot of money for them. Gregory, what's your reaction to this? Have you seen bootleg franchises? I know Israel will not have bootleg franchises, but what about in maybe other countries? Or what's your reaction to this?
I think it's not fair what Iranian doing because if it's make have to pay to these companies and not make something. And if they want to, if they want make fast food, they have been make own fast food, national fast food. Invent national fast food. It's going to be interesting and attractive to tourists and good for nation, but not copy. And if they copy, they have to pay.
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea, Gregory. If they're copying, then they should pay some money to the real Starbucks, right? Rice Coffee should pay money to the real Starbucks.
Owner of this idea.
Who's the owner of this idea?
Yes, they have to pay to owner of this idea.
So just like the franchise system in the United States, right? Each of the restaurants pays the McDonald's headquarters, Subway headquarters, Pizza Hut headquarters. Yeah. You think it should not be? They should also pay, right? Problem is, though, Gregory. I mean, there's sanctions, right? So American companies cannot get any money from Iran, right? So maybe the same situation with Syria, Allah, I don't know. But that's why they tried. Starbucks tried to sue Rice Coffee, right? But there is no relationship between America and Iran, so the lawsuit didn't go anywhere,
Use the situation for not paying. It's not fair.
I know they're very creative, right? They're using the situation that they have sanctions to make a lot of money. I mean, I'm sure the guy who owned Pizza Hut, he's probably very rich. You know, I mean, Iran has a lot of rich people. You know, he's making a lot of money from his franchise, his fake franchise, right? His bootleg franchise. And yeah, I think to a certain degree it's not fair. But you know what they will say, Gregory? They will say it's not fair that you have the sanctions for us, for our people, because the people in Iran say that the sanctions are unfair for us.
I want to say Iran.
Go ahead, Gregory. I'm sorry.
Iranian say good for selling Iranian people. It's Attic tradition.
They have a crazy shopping culture.
First.
Yeah, I agree. When I saw that they love to buy stuff, they love to sell stuff. They spend all their time in malls. Okay, they're very big shoppers, and they know markets, they know selling and buying very well. It's true. It's true. They're very good business people.
Iranian good sellers.
Yeah. Trust me. I was trying to buy something from this guy, and he would not let me have it for less price. He was a very good bargainer. A very good bargainer. I mean, I was trying to bargain. I'm from India. I can bargain, right? But this guy was giving me problems. Yeah, so he was. They're very good at selling and at shopping, definitely. Heidi, what's your reaction to this? To these fake franchises? What do you think?
They ought to pay, but American company can't receive that money because only franchise shop they can receive money, right? It's
yeah. I mean, right now you can't have any money between Iran and the U.S. There's no way if you have, unless you have a special European bank or something like that. That's the only way you can send or have a business that you need a special license, you need special rules. You know, it's a very long process, and these fake franchises did not do any of that. You know, so.
But they don't need to shut down the shops because if American win in the international court, who can control them?
Yeah, nobody, right? I mean, until the sanctions end, right? Then nobody can control them. If the sanctions end, then the American companies can say, okay, now we can fight Iran, you know, in the international court, and then maybe they'll be destroyed.
McDonald's can complain that, but Iran doesn't move.
Yeah.
If America asks them to control that shop, but Iranian police doesn't move for that.
Yeah,
because of sanction.
Exactly. So they are capitalizing, guys, on a very creative way, right? They know that they cannot be caught, and they're making millions of bucks.
Yeah,
a lot of money. I mean, these restaurants are super popular, and they're all over the country. So you know, they get they're very popular. Young people, high school people. I mean, this lady, she is an Iranian American. She actually went to high school in Iran, and she tells us in the article that she used to always go to Superstar for their cheeseburgers. You know, and just today, actually, there are a lot of Iranians in California. So I was at an Iranian restaurant just 2 hours ago. So I had some Iranian food, right? And they were their traditional food is very delicious also. So people there have both choices. You know, now they have the American fake franchises. They have their traditional food, a lot of meat, a lot of rice, chicken, things like that are in their food. So it was very. They have a lot of options there, actually, when it comes to food, things like that, right?
For example, China, almost all Japanese famous name already registered. So if right company goes there, for example, Izakaya chain, but they can't use that name in China.
Because of the copyright, or because of the...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So what would happen, though, Japan and China, have Japanese companies tried to sue Chinese companies, or Chinese companies, Japanese companies? Have you seen that before, Heidi? Have you heard about that?
Yeah, but already registered in China.
So they cannot take that name. They have to use some other name, right?
Yeah, so Japanese company need to change the name.
Interesting. That's very interesting. But you know, guys, when it comes to this idea, right? Why do you think these? Do you think these sanctions have had a negative impact on the relationship between these two countries? You know, I mean, sure, the governments hate each other, right? America, you know, the government does not like the Iranian government. The Iranian government doesn't like the American government. But have these sanctions been fair to the people? Have they been fair to the, you know, the young people, the common people, the middle class, right? Are sanctions ever fair, or is it punishing the wrong group, right? Because personally, I don't think it's punishing the government. The government is very rich, right? They can do whatever they want. The people are suffering, I think, because, you know, they don't have access to a good education, or actually they have a very good education system. They don't have access to a lot of international things, you know. They have to, it's very difficult being in Iran because they're not really a member of the international community, right? Relations are not good between their country and other countries because of these sanctions, because of their government, right? Is that fair for the people? What do you guys think? Allah, is that fair? Maybe you have an idea.
But it's kind of punishment. America doesn't have any other things. Only sanctions. They think about the maximum punishment to the Iran.
Yeah, it's the best solution to a very difficult problem, right?
Yeah.
Because it's, I mean, sanctions are economic. You know, they are hurting the wallet. We say in English, they hurt the wallet, right? You lose money, right? But honestly, I don't think the government is losing any money. The government is maybe having trouble, but the politicians are very wealthy. I mean, they're getting their money. They're living good lives, right? The people are suffering.
It's the same as North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Even North Korea has America has sanctions, but only people are starving, and but the government doesn't have anything. No apologize. Still they are thinking about the nuclear bomb.
Yeah, or some whatever agenda they have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Allah, what do you think about this? Are sanctions ever fair to the people?
I think for Iranian people is like work. I see here in Kuwait it's like work. It's not like set or the people is very good, but the government is, I think, in his opinion is not right. But now I think the relationship with Iranian and American is go to good relationship and better relationship because the Iranian have a new president. This president need and his program is have a relationship with Europe.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's better for Iranian people, for Iranian poor people.
Mm-hmm.
Government don't have any problem, but the people is Iran have poor people, and Iranian people like work. And when you open relationship with Europe, I think Iran go to better than now.
Yeah, that's the hope, Allah. You know, that's really the hope. The news seems to be optimistic, right? We have heard that there are now, you know, they're making negotiations. They're talking about diplomatic solutions to the problems. They had already decided on some plans before they had these last meetings, right? They had these last meetings, and by the time they had the meetings, they had already decided on some action that they could take, right? And yeah, people are optimistic. People are optimistic. I have friends there. You know, I went to see them when I was there. They are hopeful. You know, they are hopeful that the situation changes. The new president is a very popular guy because he he wants business to return to his country. You know, he doesn't want it to be a difficult situation economically for his people, and that's the idea. I mean, we don't know. You know, as of right now, we have to still wait and see what happens. But yeah, it's interesting, guys. So I wanted to ask you guys. Oh, Allah, did you want to say something? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, Farhan, no.
I was gonna say one other thing, guys. This is kind of just a fun question, you know. If you had a chance, right? So this is something that we can be talking about the second conditional maybe, but I want to tie to the past perfect, right? If you had not eaten Iranian fast food before, would you like to try something like this? Maybe the Pizza Hut or the KFC Iranian style or the other kinds of foods. Would you be interested in that, or would you say no? I'm okay. I only want to eat the American, the official type. What would you guys say? Heidi, what would you eat? Would you try to?
Sure. If I had a chance, I would try it.
It was good, guys. I promise, it was good. I mean, I liked the KFC I had. You know, it was.
Yeah, and the other students said it's delicious.
Yeah, they have some, you know, and they do work hard. I saw them, you know. It's just the government is just destroying a lot of their opportunities right now, you know.
Particularly ice cream. Interesting.
Yeah, the Italian gelato, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you enjoy gelato, Heidi? Did you have it before?
Yes, I like it.
When you were in Italy, right? You guys had it there.
Mm-hmm.
And what, you know, gelato, I'm not actually sure, Heidi. Is gelato more unhealthy than regular ice cream, or is it actually less unhealthy?
I don't know. I don't think about that, or the healthy or not. When I buy ice cream.
It's just delicious, right?
Only taste, yeah.
Only the taste, yeah. And it comes in a lot of flavors too, right? Gelato is
pistachio.
Pistachio, yeah, absolutely. I'm a big pistachio fan. There's actually a special type of Iranian ice cream that is pistachio ice cream. But it's their traditional ice cream. They really like that flavor. Yeah, they call it pistachio is called peste, so it's similar to the English, and it's very, very. They use it a lot in their food, also in their ice cream. So it's very interesting stuff. Allah, you have experience from Syria. Would you mind that? Would you like to try some of this food if somebody had given you a chance?
Yeah. For ice cream and Damascus have restaurant place for buying ice cream. It's named Bagdash.
Bagdash?
Very popular. Bagdash. It's very popular in Damascus. And inshallah, we'll go this war now. You visit Damascus. That's very delicious. Very expensive.
Very expensive also, so it's very high quality ice cream.
It's very high quality, yeah.
That's awesome. You know, I haven't tried any Middle Eastern ice cream outside of Turkish ice cream actually, and Iranian ice cream. I never had Bagdash, unfortunately.
It's very, very delicious.
Is it really tough to make, or is it easy to make? Maybe I don't think it's easy to make. I think it's difficult to make.
No, it's not easy. It's difficult, and the people have this shop. This shop is for grandfather.
Oh wow! So many generations, many generations.
Yeah.
My grandfathers made Bagdash. My father made Bagdash. I make Bagdash. My son makes.
This is for family.
My friends are laughing around. Yeah.
So,
we make Bagdash. We make Bagdash يعني.
Bagdash.
أهل البغداش يعني أهل البغداش.
Yeah. Here in Kuwait has, but it's different. It's not delicious. It's not.
Oh really? Interesting. That's crazy. That's awesome. I did not.
But I like to try the Kobe restaurant in Iran.
Yeah, right. I'm surprised that they have a Starbucks Rais coffee. It's very interesting for me. in any case, guys, very last question for you guys, and then I think we can review. Actually, we don't have too much time. Let me just take some time, guys, to review what we looked at. So when we are talking about the past perfect, right, really the idea is that we are talking about two events. We are comparing two things that happened in the past, right? Somebody, and then the construction is the subject, and then had and past participle, right? She had not worked for 6 years. That's one example, right? You're talking about some, if you want to make it a negative, you just put a not after the had. She had not worked for 6 years. He had already finished his work when his wife came home, right? Everything in the past tense. The first part is in the past participle, is in the past perfect. The second part is in the regular past tense, simple past tense, right? Just comparing two things. You know, I had already tried Iranian KFC when they asked me to eat it, right? When my friends asked me to eat it, right? I had already tried it, right? I had already tried, then friends asked, right? Simple past and past perfect, right? Comparing two things in the past, guys. That's the main idea when it comes to this grammar point. Before we move on, guys, to the, or actually before we have to say goodbye to this class, any other questions, guys, about anything we looked at, the article? Did you guys think it was interesting?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, these copycat franchises, right? These fake franchises. Heidi, what did you think?
Yeah, sure. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, awesome, guys. And any questions on the grammar, the past participle? It's more focused on conversation, but I also wanted to talk about the grammar if there was any, if there were any questions.
Some people bought cupcakes today because they thought I was a nice guy.
No questions?
No, I'm gonna buy.
No.
I'm gonna buy.
No questions, Allah or Heidi? Everyone's okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, guys. Well, guys, I have one more class tonight. I teach 3 on Saturdays, right? So you guys are more than welcome to join my next one. But otherwise, I need to start preparing for that. So I look forward to seeing you guys again very soon. And anytime you guys need anything, you can contact me on Facebook, whatever. Ask me any questions. I would love to help. Awesome. Thank you guys for a great class. Appreciate it. Allah and Heidi. Yeah, take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Goodbye. Because there are many of these chains in Iran, and the food is great, but the names are different from the American or the European companies that are similar to them, right? So the food is similar. Maybe you can go to a restaurant in Iran that serves sandwiches like McDonald's, right? But the idea is that they're copying the McDonald's idea and making it something that is that is like their culture. So they're copying other things. Because they have diplomatic problems with the United States, they actually cannot open a McDonald's in Iran. It's not possible. So they're copying, right? No American business, unless they have a special license, can work with Iran. So different kinds of things like that. We will see how people are creative, even when their governments are very are always kind of closing them off. So, guys, any questions before we get started? Past perfect or these other things that I just mentioned right now with Iranian fast food? Any questions?
No question.
Fantastic. Great, guys. So when we get started, guys, when we talk about the past perfect tense, right, remember we are comparing two things in the past. Because this is an advanced class, guys, okay, we are not going to focus on the grammar. We're going to go right to the article very, very soon after we discuss the grammar. So I wanted to start the conversation by asking you guys, if you could give me an example of, I'll just ask you guys, have you eaten fast food recently? Have you? We have Allah is also here. Hey, Allah, how's it going?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good يا باشا. ازيك انت يا باشا؟
Good morning.
كله تمام، كله كويس.
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Fantastic. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the class. As I was describing a little while ago, right? Well, actually, I was just about to start, so thank you for joining. we are going to talk about today, guys, talk about the past perfect tense. And the past perfect tense we actually use in English when we are describing two events in the past, right? When we are describing one event in the past and comparing it to another event in the past, right? We use it for many types of situations. The thing to keep in mind is that we are looking at the past in all of these cases, right? So, and then in the second part of the class, guys, we will talk about an interesting situation that is happening now in Iran. As you guys may know, it's a country that has a lot of political issues with the rest of the world. Not a very westernized country, really. But there are many things in Iran that the people, the young people especially in that country, are very creative. And there are businesses that try to bring creative business ideas to that country, even though the government and the politics of that country are very anti-Western, a very rigid society, right? So we will take a look at actually the establishment of fast food chains in Iran that are copies of American and European fast food. And it's a very interesting situation, actually. You're walking where?
Yes, I'm walking.
You're walking, fantastic. Early morning exercise, that's good.
How are you? How do you feel?
Good, good. I feel good. I'm just looking for something I think I left in the car, but we'll be able to have our class.
Take your time. We only do now. Take.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I need a haircut. See how my hair is all tired? Yeah, car has been parked. Everything's good. I just need to get a haircut. I think my hair is crazy.
You look well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I need to fix my hair eventually. But besides that, so great, Gregory. We will wait for somebody else to join before I get started quickly here in the next few minutes. Let's see. How's the weather? How's the walk?
It's chilly.
It's chilly.
But it's nice. I put two coats. Sorry, I forgot the word.
No. You can say I wore two coats. I wore two coats.
Yes.
Fantastic.
It's good.
Great, fantastic. It's a little bit chilly, but yeah, here in the morning today it was actually very chilly. I think maybe 5 degrees Celsius. Oh, nice. You're
Just
showing
my town.
Yeah, it's good. I can see Israel here. It's very interesting.
Who's your friend?
My friend is...
Who's your good friend?
He's Harun. That's Harun.
Nice to meet you.
He's saying nice to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you too, Gregory.
So we are just, all these young guys, we are just sitting and we work on our computers, we work on different projects. Cell phone. Yeah. So we're just all hanging out together in California. So it's an interesting experience for all of us. Yeah.
Okay, show me. Are you? Can you see me?
A little bit.
No.
I see a little bit. It's dark though. It's kind of dark.
Okay, it's light.
Yeah.
Now?
Oh yes, I see you. Hey, Gregory. Good to see you.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't show my face because I'm old. I don't like show my face.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Age is no problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Fantastic. So let's see.
Okay. Sorry.
No problems. I was just waiting. I'm gonna wait just a few more minutes, Gregory. Maybe 2 more minutes. And before I get started, actually, I wanted to just introduce the topic. Oh, we have Heidi. Fantastic. Hey, Heidi. How's it going?
Hello.
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 Nice to see you again. Fantastic. Have you eaten fast food recently? Let's start with Allah. Allah, have you eaten fast food recently?
Yeah, I eat fast food every weekend.
Every weekend you have it every weekend.
Yeah.
Do you go out with your friends or family, or just alone?
No, I go with my wife.
Fantastic. Nice way to spend time with your wife. You take her to a fast food restaurant. You guys do this every weekend, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun. Do you have a special place that you guys always go to?
Yeah, I go for KFC, or sometimes McDonald's.
McDonald's and KFC, okay, two very popular chains, right? Awesome.
Because that restaurant have a place for children play.
Yeah, they have the play place, right? The place where kids can run around and play and not cause problems, right? Fantastic. Good, good.
Yeah.
Gregory, what about you? Have you recently had fast food?
No, recently not. I understand it's not good for me, for my health, and I avoid. But sometimes, because our daughter, we're going to McDonald's, and you're right, there are a place for playing for a child, jamboree. It's called jamboree.
Yeah, jamboree. Yeah, we have that word in English. I think maybe in Israel they call it a jamboree. But you know, we have a place for kids to play.